Still turn to kebab questions. It's funny because you turn kebab while cooking it.
Okay, with a minute to go, I'm just going to repeat the format of this. So if you have questions, then you're best dropping them to me over TeamSpeak, just chat, and then I'll raise it when the time comes. Doc is meant to be leading this, but he is running around somewhere.
Probably. Knowing Doc is always at the toilet, so.
Boo-boo. Oh, great. I know Stell announced it, but Stell is hiding up into the admin lounge right now. So, anyway, it's 8 o'clock, so I guess we'll start. If anyone has their first question that they'd like to...
That's a lie, it's 9 o'clock.
Otherwise, we'll go through the points that we've already stated. Have you got that up, Bembo?
Yep.
Cool, should we start then?
Sure.
Let me just get it up so I can follow along.
Right.
Where is that link? Can you send it to me, please? Just so I don't have to scroll up through everything in admin chat.
That's what I just did.
Did you? Where?
I mean, that's what I just did, as in scrolled up.
Oh, okay, you put it. Alright.
Please don't. I'm gonna put my poke block on. Oh, wait, Doc's here.
Yeah, so
Is Doc here? Oh, brilliant.
to,
We don't actually have to stall for much
I
longer.
may have to run at any point, but until then, yes, I'm here.
Sit down and stop walking halfway across the room. Okay.
Look, my big fat peeking poo.
So, first point. Can you send it? The server's death, or as many people are calling it, player count, and how are we combating it?
Yes, I'm trying to open the thing. So essentially, what we've got to do, we've got to balance the short term and the long term here. The short term, essentially, we're looking at changing the map because it's quite obvious that people don't like it. We're looking at getting new content in as fast as we can, while still trying to maintain the reasonable level of quality that people have come to expect from LimeLight. Oh, hey, Arnie, aren't you fearless dev? Sorry.
Slow down and breathe.
I am breathing, Sours. Yeah, definitely.
I have a question.
In the long term, still attempting to keep... trying to actually get longer term content pushed out, Meska modules, new things in that regard, pushing development out, while also trying to address the other concerns the community have. Hang on. There you go, is that better?
Ow!
Too loud?
Way too loud.
Turn it down a little bit. There we go, how's that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Beautiful.
Wait, is it? No, it's too quiet.
Well, oh my god.
Like, literally, like, one bit.
Right, there we go.
There we go.
Beautiful. Right, what was the question?
No, we're dealing with questions at the end.
We were doing questions at the end.
Get through the points that we've got on the doc.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is, essentially, people don't want to join a server that's empty. So what we need to do is get past that initial barrier of having the server completely empty or a very low player count, and actually trying to get that sorted. Because otherwise it just creates a spiral where nobody really wants to join, and it's much harder to get out of that place than it would be before. And of course, some of the latest Gmod update had an issue where it was breaking the context. The context menu. Nightmare?
Hi.
Is that everything?
Well, I thought we were going through all of the points rather than...
I literally went through all the points. Have we got any questions
human
about
resources, rules, changes to make them more lax for players. Hi, Bryn, do you want to explain?
Let's get the questions about this specific point so we don't forget.
We're doing that at the end.
Like the category general, and then let's get to questions
we're
about
also
that.
looking at having, in that case, future meetings. Hopefully, I know we said we would, and yeah, we said we would before, and we haven't managed to keep up to that. You know, the person who put on the dev poll more LimeLight lies a while back. Yeah, we were meant to get more of these feedbacks, and we didn't. There's nothing I can say about that. We messed up.
Ooh.
Alright, I think we can get questions about server population.
Okay,
And
so
etc.
if we want to get questions about,
I've only got one
general-
question
Only
surrounding.
one question. Wonderful, go for it.
I have one question surrounding the population from Puff. Will there ever be a ban wipe, as most ban players are interested in the server and will raise player count?
Right. It's a possibility. There's also the possibility of individual cases being looked into. There's nothing concrete either way. I'm going to have to run. I'll be about 30-60 seconds.
Okay, cool. Shall I do the other question
Let's
then
play an
whilst we wait?
elevator
Or...
song? Yeah, sure.
Alright, so other question from Quest. In terms of maps, are you going to select one that's familiar with the City RP community?
I think that would be like an unfamiliar one would hurt even more, in my opinion.
I'd agree. We're collecting feedback through the panel right now, and that's being looked at quite closely by the likes of Tamar, Doc, most of the development team. So we'll take that on board in choosing one, and we'll see where we go from there. I think is the most reasonable answer.
Questions can be sent to Nightmare.
Yep, just send it to me. You're right, still.
Yeah, so I had to eat and then put the washing in. I'm back now.
No probs. Bryn, do you want to cover some of your points whilst we wait? You're probably not going to be able to, like...
Not going to be able
you
to
can
talk,
send them
but you
wherever,
can be
but
his voice. Like, you can be his voice, I think.
your points, I will send you your points.
Basically, Nightmare, I think you can read what Bryn has answered, so people...
Yeah, I'm going to.
And it'll also be easier for Towers, who's recording this.
Yeah, well.
I'm back. My apologies.
Oh,
for
okay.
that.
Doc, good timing. I've got another question for you.
Oh, beautiful, wonderful.
The North American server seemed as though its release was delayed and hasn't seen much of any attention since its release. What's the future plan for the server?
We're looking again at similar plans to the main server for looking to... Shouldn't run, guys. It's unhealthy for you. Similar plans to EU server for reviving population, but it's a much harder, simply because our US player base is, no offense, Black Dog, a lot smaller. So, Marcus, I will end you.
Alright, cool. Next question.
Essentially, sorry, I haven't finished.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were.
We may, it may be a case of cutting the US server and possibly looking at something else, or maybe bringing it back another time. Next question.
Cool. Are there any recent plans to better benefit passive RPs?
Yes, the Mexico update, which released actually a couple of weeks ago, that everyone seems to forget was a thing. We've got more plans for overhauling more systems, including one for woodcutting. We're looking at more expansion of current systems where lots of them currently lack any depth at all, and trying to Puffy, I'm not eating, you knob. Not eating, because that would be disrespectful.
That ready for the next question, or?
So yeah, there are plans. They're not hugely, hugely developed yet, because obviously we've got a lack of people who know how to code. And yes. But you know what I do have? A lovely can of Fanta Fruit Twist, not sponsored.
Stay on topic.
Next question.
Is LimeLight willing to make major changes to the game mode for better performance or functionality?
We've already said that we will, if we have to.
Okay. What happened to community transparency? The first the community heard about the US server was when it was released. Why are new projects not being shared publicly on the roadmap? Or on the roadmap, rather?
Essentially, that project at the time was aimed at surprising a set of the player base that generally has been I wouldn't say neglected, but underserved by our current offerings. And yeah, Marcus has got it essentially.
I also remember there being a multiple amount of suggestions about a US server. But might be wrong.
Possibly.
Sours, shut up, no one likes you anyway. Next
Alright.
question.
Are there any plans for big updates in the future that will change the game mode significantly?
In a way, we already have been moving towards that. We were moving a lot more to try and develop the long-term progression of players, to try and keep people around having fun, even when they've done everything they already want. Well, sorry, done everything they already... I'm trying to think of how the word
Can
is.
do?
Not can do. I think, was it Black Dog, who was saying that he's been around, he's done all the RPs that he can think of. He still gets surprised and still enjoys it, but he's seen everything new, I think is the best way of putting it. Yeah, Bryn, that's because I don't give a shit about you or your rank. This is more important.
Alright, so when will LimeLight go more the route of talking, warning, and punishment only if required, with bans being for malicious actions instead of regular?
Can you start that again? Someone just poked me, Bryn.
Good, Bryn, this is more aimed towards you. I believe it's more a HR question.
Oh, wonderful. I'm going to eat some chips.
When will LimeLight go more the route of talking, warning, and punishment only if required, with bans being for malicious actions instead of regular? If you don't want to talk, then obviously you can just message me and I'll read out your answer. Because Bryn has lost his mic.
Make sure to do it in an insulting voice.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
if I may say something, add something there, it's pretty individual. Like, not every staff member is handling situations the same way. Some might just give you a warning, while others are like being a little bit more harsh. But I'm currently addressing this, and like we try to get a solution, being more get more on a consensus.
Some people will either give verbal warnings or basically completely ignore issues. Not ignore, but put no punishment down on them when they see them.
So with that, it comes down to the staff member. Everyone is different.
Sorry, Nightmare. You're welcome. I was about to say some people some people will give warnings, like very heavily give warnings. Some people will go, pretty quickly into banning. It really comes down to individual staff members, but we have been. I think it's fair to say that generally we've been moving away from just immediately banning everyone. Even looking back to FL, where blacklists and warnings weren't actually a thing at all. You'd get banned and that was it.
Cool. So next part of the question.
Because you smell Quest.
Doc, this is more aimed towards you.
Oh, really?
Will the fishing system eventually be replaced with a natural fishing system? There was a system shown before where you could use real rods.
A wheel gun.
And it was far more interactive, reeling, cast out, etc.
It's a possibility. It depends on what people want and what we have the resources to implement.
Ready for the next one?
There's no... I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say... there's no reason why it wouldn't be, but it also depends on when. I think is... I'm not fat, Sours. I'm lighter than you.
Topic, please.
I'm starting to think this meeting is more about Doc's eating ASMR or drinking ASMR.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay, I'll mute when I'm meeting, that's fine.
What kind of content is looking to be implemented?
Well, short term and medium term, you can look at the roadmap at limelightgaming.net/services/ It's not auto-filling, hang on.
I also updated the top thing.
Yep.
As soon as you join in.
Cool.
I've just realised that is not the roadmap that I want. I would like the LimeLight roadmap and not that one. I don't know why that one auto-filled. Why is this not loading? Oh,
okay, but yes, go and look at the roadmap for...
Physical protection we're looking. It might be. I'm not going to lie. It might be canned. We're not sure because we're having issues with models. And rest in peace, CMR. But yeah.
Doc, I think
No,
it
Bambo,
will
you
go
smell.
along with the last one. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So general has been stuff that we're looking to do over a longer term. Again, it's such a shame we don't have as many developers as we used to. So it's just taking a long time to get anything done. Additional HUD elements I think actually needs updating. Event updates is still in the works. It's definitely that is being worked on. Player rewards. Oh, that's the thing. The thing. Prop revamp. I need to.
Oh, okay.
Prop revamp. Sorry, just dying. I need to check on that. Actually, I think it's done. The thing that I'm working on for that is done. I think.
Cool.
Accessory system is person here. No, they're not. I'm not going to go into details if they're not there. Skills and metrics. We need to probably clear up and get something else from there and put in its place. Meska, mining, refining. We got a person working on it. Crafting, we got someone working on it. Contraband and woodcutting is in the planning, and hopefully won't take too long. But yeah, with the limited people we've got, I'll try and keep it quick.
I've got a load of questions.
Next question.
What do you hope to fix by changing the map?
Lots of people seem to dislike the map. Personally, I couldn't care either way. A map is a map. People will roleplay on it, and the LimeLight community are really good at making the best out of any map that they're put on. So, for me, I don't really know, because the map isn't a big issue for me personally.
Next one.
Next question, yeah.
What progress is being made on fixing FPS?
Again, we've actually put a lot of time into finding the issues before. We've gone back through with the updates that we've made, and lots of the heavy hitters that were causing issues before are no longer there. There was a certain plugin that was removed, which was like halving or quartering frame rates and frame times for certain people on certain systems because of the way it accessed certain data. So that's being removed. That's a lot of pings. Lots of stuff has been taken. Lots of stuff has been improved, though those gains aren't amazing, but they are there. Yeah, and Gmod itself is absolutely crap. And there's times where I look at it and I go, I don't actually have a clue. So, yeah, my apologies there. Puffty, the only reason it's shit for base is because you're banned on it.
On topic, please.
I am being on topic. Next question.
Alright. When are we removing the US server?
We went over that before. Next.
When will the team be bringing in new devs to produce more content?
We're looking for new devs. We're always looking for new devs. It's when people stick their head above the parapet and say, "Yeah, I'm willing to. I have these skills here." Or no, Puffy. Look, people sticking their head up and saying, "Yeah, I might be a fit." Because we've had a lot of good contribs just who thought they were bad and came in, and turns out Stel was absolutely terrible. But we've also had people. Sorry, Stel. We've had people come in and be absolutely amazing, even if they haven't been the most active.
Okay.
Next.
When is Evo City V4B1?
Already been over that. Next.
And why don't we get forum posts about updates? One of the things that turned me away is because I used to get excited about the updates, and since I don't see them anymore, I don't want to join.
Forum posts about in-progress updates or updates that have been made? I went over
Waiting
map
for
changes
clarification.
about 2-3 minutes ago, Octagon, as well. I'm not going to go specifically over each map, Octagon. I'm not doing that. If it's in-progress updates, then it happens.
Forum
from time
posts
to...
on updates.
Yeah, it happens
in
from
the
time to
announcement.
time. But it doesn't happen all the time. When it comes to updates that are completed, generally the larger ones do get their own posts. But I'm not going to make a forum post for every bug fix that I make because people already get pissy that I make too many change logs. Next question. Yes, yes. Bryn made a good point. We could be utilising the Steam group more effectively, but yeah.
Bryn, this is more directed towards you, so I'm just going to read out the
Arnie,
community
you can
thing.
eat my penis.
Will LimeLight move to be more uniform in its policy enforcement, so it's less reliant on who is on at the time, whether or not you're punished for an action?
Oh, I've got a good answer for this as well.
Yeah, but you're not Bryn, are you?
Yeah, but I'm a power tripping. Can't use that word in here.
Dr. Internet, head of everything and everything, fucking demote him already.
Mm-hmm. I think the actual phrase was demote the cunt, but
I don't fucking know. And I'm waiting
They're
to
not
read
wrong.
something out.
Wow.
Can we put on an elevator music?
Nightmare, read out my one. Oh wait, that was.
I think we need to create some form of system to which, when a player goes through a punishment,
God, this is agonizing. This is like Burnett typing. They each have the same system.
they each have the same system. So
So like a set of guidelines for the rules, essentially, I think is what he's going through there.
That's
So
fair enough.
any infraction, for a given person with a given history will get the same punishment.
regardless of who you are.
Exactly.
Alright, cool. Next question, Doc.
Wow.
Next question, Doc.
Another, if I may quickly
go
on
on.
that last question. Another thing is a lot of people quite like the more serious RP style of enforcement, where it also enhances the roleplay. Lots of people are willing to ignore some minor rules, and so it's trying to keep a balance. Not currently, but some people liked. I think during the serious RP event that happened quite a bit, and it was very interesting to see that there. Next question, sorry.
Next question, Doc. When will vehicles have that horrible half-a-second delay for steering fixed? We've had it for 7 years now.
Yes. Stop lagging. Get good computer. Oof.
There you go then. Bryn, will LimeLight ever consider applications for staff?
The only application we need is for Puffty. Hashtag Puffty for admin.
Probably not. Cool, that's that question sorted. I'm not going to answer that first question.
Ask
The
the first
bandwidth.
question, you little piece of shit. Come on. Community
What is going to be done
transparency.
about the decreasing player count, as many people said it's too late?
I've already answered that.
Will LimeLight
Yeah.
be moved on to different games, such as 5M?
We need to be very careful about that. We've tried it a lot. We've tried it a lot with a lot of different things. It's never really worked out. We need to work out why it's not working out. Space Station 13, yes.
Cool.
I love Space Station 13. Great game.
Okay.
What would be the optimal size of the development team for the server, and what's the current size of it?
We can't really say if there's an optimal size, because there's, I can't remember the name. Force. What's the name of that law, that rule that you told me? I can't remember. Essentially, if you take late projects and just put people on them, Brooks Law, thank you, Brooks Law, it will make them later. But that being said, that's only for a single project. If you have multiple projects running at once, having more developers can really impact that time. So currently, development team size is, scroll down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 9, 10-ish. I would say I would be happy at around 15 to 20. No, well, yeah, more than 0 people. Yeah, I didn't read the second half of that.
Okay.
Please send in questions to Nightmare so he can not be dumb. Thank
Throw
you.
them over to me, cool. How long was Mexa in development for, and what's being done to speed up the development of future content? This is going to be an interesting one.
Too long.
Yeah,
Way
way
too
too long.
Right, so Burnett's project, when he came back, that was Meska. That was his project. Unfortunately, as often happens, life got in the way. Lots of challenges. An issue with code that was meant to be there not being there. Other projects, more important stuff, getting in the way. So unfortunately, especially as he does a lot of our security and back-end work, lots of stuff got in the way of that, unfortunately. What was the second part of the question?
And what is being done to speed up development of future content?
We're getting more developers. A lot more of our developers are actually now coming from traditional coding and systems administration backgrounds, whereas in the past it was server owners who wanted to make their game mode better. So the coding style, the coding practices weren't as good, which is actually a lot of what my work goes into now, is repairing that code that 10 years ago it worked. Probably not the best to do now.
What
Yes,
percentage of
What percentage of-
what percentage of the development team is actually active?
Silence.
I'm trying to do some mental math in my head. 50, 75%-ish, depending on how I'm counting activity.
Brilliant. Wait, hold up.
Is Cole here? I want to shit on him. No, he's not here.
Apart
Damn it.
from some optimization issues, what issues does either City People B1 have?
In terms of a map, again, same thing that I said last time. Don't give a shit. It's a map. Map is a map. People will find the best places to use a map. Doesn't matter which one it is.
Cool. Bryn, question to you rather. Will we ever get a solid definition of fail RP? Because it isn't very clear. Sorry, I'm paraphrasing on that because I closed it on accident.
I think we really need an elevator song right now while we're waiting. Internet says he's dead.
I hope he's not dead, because it's hard to conclude that rule because it covers such a wide area of the rules.
You could say that it's used as a rule to say. No, I'm not going to quote the thread. Don't worry. Essentially, because essentially a lot of niche-ish cases, but also a lot of quite broad cases. Unfortunately, I disagree in part because it can be misinterpreted by people questioning it, and there could be ways it could be better. There's a lot of. It's a lot of taking what is a very broad rule by definition.
I mean,
and
maybe
then
if
bring
we
it down.
separate it into parts, it might be better.
Yeah, I think the problem again is that but this is the same problem that every community really has, because pardon me, where it is. Yeah, I agree. It is a very wide, very broad rule. Fucking hell, I can't talk. A very wide, very broad rule that does cover a lot of area, but also in part is meant to cover that area.
And Bryn says that a lot of common sense is applied to it, but sometimes differences come down to it.
Oh god, that dog's arguing. Hide me.
This is going to roll into a circle.
Yep.
So we'll ask another question in the meantime.
To conclude, it's basically none of us agree that it's great. None of us say it's a great rule to have. But I think we all agree it's better than the alternatives at the Covenant.
Okay, cool. Doc, will LimeLight consider a SS13 server? Could be fun.
I fucking wish, but probably not. Honestly, Space Station 13, great game. 3. Except it's not.
That's bad, man.
What?
Space Station 13, it's a great game, you should play it. Pluggo, pluggo. Next question.
Next question. Will the ever god-awful horn be fixed?
The what? Oh, the god. No! That is as much a part of LimeLight as the Trabant, and anyone who disagrees with me is wrong.
Changing my mind.
Okay, cool. Next question. Why does Dr. Internet say a map is a map when there is a clear link between player count and map changes?
My apologies, that's not meant in a general sense. That's for me personally. A map comes down to is it playable or not? Does it have major frame rate or playability issues, yes or no? If it's fine, it doesn't matter to me whether it's great or okay, they will work.
Alright, cool. Next question. Bryn, this is towards you. What will change in staff's attitude starting from today? It feels as if the community isn't prioritized by staff. We are left to our own devices with occasional staff members appearing. The thread has been made, things will change. Question is, will staff too? Will you tackle even issues in the current staff team?
Oh shit, sorry, my mic's unmuted.
Cue the elevator song, please.
And whilst we wait for Bryn's response, I'm being asked, can internet then replace a horn with the SS13 clowns horn?
Yes! Yes, I'm doing that right now. Idea, I love you.
That was
I'm
probably
fine.
Black Talk.
Doc, this is aimed towards you. LimeLight should reach out towards the public educational system to reach young children studying to be a developer. Internet should be visiting classes countrywide and talking to children there.
You know what's funny?
bit of
You know
advice.
what's funny? I work as a teacher in a school. I
There you go then.
worked as a computer science teacher for 2 years. Never doing it again, because good lord.
Nightmare, by the way,
Strip in front. No, no, Barbara. I did not strip in front of that. We've gone through this before.
Bryn, are you dead or?
yeah, just message him the question because.
Well,
Like you
I think
said.
that it's more for HR to blame because we've not been around as much to kick everyone up their asses. But that's changing. I'm around more, and what we'll do is start having competitions to get more events, rewards for events, and so on. Leading on towards that, I'd like to come in as liaison here and say that I am constantly pushing my guys to go for events, plan some out. Don't you snigger because there's areas of the forums where I'm pushing it. So
The parts I don't
there are
read.
plans to get more events in, leading on towards that. And leading on from Bryn's response, get more staff to player connections, is what he said.
Hey,
Uh,
Monkey, Bryn is HR.
Nightmare's essentially taught like the voice of Bryn because Bryn can't type. So
Yeah.
yeah, just to clarify that.
Then, following on from your response, Bryn, why isn't the full HR team, Tamar, and the other staff members present? Is there any team cohesion as of late? Does the staff
Right.
team even feel supported by HR?
So I can answer part of that. Falsty at the moment is in hospital, I believe. So unfortunately, he's and Miles at work. No. I mean, not like he's injured. I think he's visiting somebody or something.
I feel very supported by HR.
Yeah, I feel very supported by HR, especially in the admin section. Love you, Bryn.
And why is Overload not here? He's playing World of Warcraft, does he not care?
Yes, he's currently raiding in World of Warcraft,
Mhm.
so...
Yeah.
Rating is more important than LimeLight. Guys, you heard it here first.
Well, Enzyme has work in a few hours, Tamara is at work, and Overload has a fucking raid, as we've just discovered. Okay, so
Yeah, we got Bryn and me.
is LimeLight willing to get content from other developers through sources like the freelance section of Gmod Store?
We're looking into it. The only problem is because our game mode is absolute dog shit, and basically very few people have copies of it. It's extremely, to a point, it's extremely difficult to develop fuck's sake, extremely difficult to develop for. No sales, I'm not becoming HR. Fucking hell.
Okay. Next
So,
question.
Well, we could.
Sorry.
It can be. It's difficult getting stuff implemented and with also to our standards and quality. Next question. Sorry.
Will VC mod or a hybrid photon version for civilian vehicles ever return?
As people may know, I'm also a developer for Photon now because I'm that fucking amazing. Fucking round of applause would be nice. Yeah. Well, I feel
I
so.
think this is turning into another internet brag session. Hello.
Always. any chance I get. So essentially, what we're doing there is we're looking at lots of improvements in stability and performance in Photon, because at the moment it's absolute dog shit. For VC mod, it could make a comeback. We're not sure. Possibly it's just lighting. Possibly is something more in depth.
Cool. Without a joke, the driving and turning lag is not a latency issue, as it can be had with low ping on build server as well. We should work on a different system to make driving more fun and smooth.
then I will put my best man Nightmare on that. He'll be taking.
I'm your
over
best
that.
man.
I
Wow.
think you said it sarcastically.
Oh.
No, Nightmare. If you could get on that and get a thread written in dev and have
Yep,
an
sure.
idea, thank you. Or Bambo or anyone, don't really care. Somebody.
I'll deal with it after this.
Thank you.
Bryn, what is happening with the inactive staff? Are they being dealt with properly?
You said, I won't lie, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at me?
I've been saying that. Oh, no, that's Black Belt.
I've been saying this for some years to Enzyme. Don't panic. Do what needs to be done.
This just proved that if
But what can I
someone
say
changes their
other
name
than I'll
to...
demote some cunts? Bryn, are you going to add on to that, or is that...
Or you just going to leave it hanging?
Okay, cool.
I'm promoted.
Doc,
See you guys
will LimeLight ever add a client-side lights tool?
It's a possibility. The major problem with that is trading off performance for things like advantages in firefights, which we're trying to keep certain experiences, especially player-related ones, where it's players between players, trying to keep them as I'm using words. I'm sorry. I'm sleeping. Not good. Bambo, you're popping. But trying to keep consistent experiences between different players, so you can't just have a player, spam 500 lights in a hallway and suddenly get a 200 frames per second advantage over somebody. Yeah.
Okay. Quick.
But again, there's if we can get it written and it's not too heavy or whatever, then it's not too much of a problem. And so yeah, I can't see no reason why not.
Quick interjection from Bryn. I'm going to spam a link into the chat there. That is what he is proposing for the standard punishment guide for a player in regards to fail RP. He'd like to hear your opinions on it. Thank you. How can Fearless have VC mods and not have any lag, and we can't? I see you, Arnie, and diving.
Oh, well, it was a question at the time of trying to find the things that were heaviest and causing the big issues. The profiling we did at the time suggested VC mod was causing that. We removed it. It's quite a difficult balancing act. I think if Project was here, I've explained this to him before, but everything we do will have a trade-off. We can rewrite some code to make it more efficient, but that might make it harder to read. We can add Stormforce to make things more realistic. And lots of people wanted a day-night cycle, they wanted weather. And then we look at it, and apparently it was causing massive, massive frame drops, so it's been disabled for now. If we add VC mod, if we remove Photon and add VC mod, which is lighter, we're then trading off any customization for police cars. Any police cars that we've made ourselves will be gone, essentially. Cool. So yeah, it's a lot of trying to balance. And yeah, we haven't always done a good job of it, but we're trying. And we always appreciate the feedback that people give us when we do, whether we get it right or wrong.
Cool. Bryn, this is geared towards you.
Oh,
How will you ensure staff and devs, well, I suppose both of you can answer this then, ensure staff and devs remain passionate? People are bound to lose interest over time. Players move on with their lives, as will staff members. It's all natural, but you cannot run a server if you're not interested at all. How will you tackle the issue of lack of interest? Does HR ensure the staff members are still interested and okay with what they're doing? Will you ultimately remove them?
So, from a dev side, because dev and HR are partially separated for day-to-day responsibilities. So, essentially, development is run by Falsty and myself, and the administrative team is run by the other fuckers, whoever their names are. So, for development, mainly what we do is we understand that yeah, burnout is something that can happen. Whether it takes 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, it can happen to anyone. And it's not trying to prevent that, but rather trying to mitigate it. You know, don't have projects that are solely reliant on one person. We've learned that lesson after we completely and utterly lost a project because the person who was working on it left. Don't have projects that are completely reliant on one person. Make sure, if we do that, or that somebody's working on a project, make sure it's documented well enough that if it's a term called bus factor. If they get hit by a bus tomorrow, how badly are we fucked? And it's trying to mitigate that as much as we can.
And Bryn says something like that. You can't force people to play. Eventually, people will need to go. Everyone loses interest, but we can offer like monthly rewards for our accounts like we used to. And we find new stuff. Cool. Next bit of the question. Would it be a good idea to have individual staff members to at least come on the server once a month for an hour, perhaps more if possible? How can one run a server, e.g. through forums, voting on important matters that can impact the community, if they aren't playing on it to experience it themselves? And cue the elevator music whilst we wait for Bryn's response.
Down, down, down,
I can
down.
give an answer for
Yes, it was. Do you want me to repeat it? Alright. Would it be a good idea to...
How can you make people... How can you make sure people can actually run a community if they never go on the server?
Would it be a good idea to have individual staff members to at least come on the server once a month for an hour, perhaps more if possible? How can one run a server, for example, through the forums, voting on important matters that can impact the community, if they aren't on it to experience it for themselves? If you can answer that in my DM so it's easier for me to read, then I would be...
For development, I can answer partially.
Hi, Tomo.
Generally, the people who don't go on the server, generally there are also people who either listen to other people to make their decisions.
Bryn
rather
answered?
than-
Yes, Bryn answered. Well, what we do, we can put realistic hour counts in, and if they don't meet them, they're gone. Become more strict on activity, I think would be a major impact. Cool.
With people who don't go on the server as often are either people who don't vote at all, or place a fairly heavy influence on what people who do go on the server say.
Brilliant. Should we go to the next one?
Yeah.
Cool. What is happening about really easy suggestions, such as the merging of rules and rule clarifications, as the suggestion has been approved for about 3 months now? Bryn, you might want to...
Yeah, if you want to do that one specifically, and then in general, easy suggestions sometimes get... Oh, hey there. Easy suggestions sometimes get lost. And yeah, you can't talk, Liv.
That's Overly's job.
They sometimes get lost. They sometimes, as I think I've explained to a couple of people, they might get pushed down the priority, even if they are quick and easy to do. How much value do they then provide?
Should we go on, or are we waiting for Bryn?
I think Bryn's...
Oh yeah, Bryn just said it's Overly's job, and he gets moaned at for doing it wrong.
Yeah,
So
I would say complain to Overly, but he's not here.
yeah, just go and rip him a new one for doing a raid. Next question: is LimeLight going to add a tutorial or guide system to the server for players playing a job for the first time? So.
Yes.
I will partially answer this, and Doc can join me on the implementation. Yes, I know you said yes. The teachers have a project live to them that's been in the works for a while, because I think it's not entirely finished, but I will chase that myself. And something will be released soon in regards to it. I'm assuming, Doc, you might be able to fit that somewhere? Somewhere, I say, hoping.
Maybe, possibly.
Okay, fine, we'll fit it somewhere, but... there is something in the works for it.
In that case, Force and Sours, then we'll have to find it, because again, it's probably been buried by something else.
Yes.
Forums are not the most effective communication when it comes for longer term styly projects.
True.
Shut up, Marcus, you never left. Next question.
There actually isn't one. I've come to the end of my questions.
Nice. Has anyone else got any questions? Please say no, because I want to.
Feel free to message me if you have questions.
Message the one where it
oh,
says
there we are.
questions for him.
No, I'm not answering.
Oh, ask the question, Nightmare.
Hard
What's
pass.
No, okay, send me what the question is. You'll have to ask Frosty about that one, Dave. I'm eating some chicken nuggets.
Fat fucking cunt.
Oh, the question is because he's going out with Roxas. That's why.
What?
That's the answer to that question.
But yeah, questions, guys. If you have any of them, just send them my way.
Are we? Was that just general, or were we? Where are we?
I've just been reading off the questions that I've been sent, to be honest.
Oh, wait. So
So-
have we done everything? No, we haven't done everything because I haven't talked about this shit. Human
Yeah, just
resources.
answer the points.
Rules. So, lots of people are complaining that the rules are either too strict or too loopholey, which is quite interesting because those are basically completely different opposites of each other. But anyway, we have got some changes. There have been, and we're looking into some more changes to try and relax things up for players whilst also tightening the loopholes, which is difficult, but we're trying to do it. Please work with us on this, essentially, is what we're saying. If rule changes come out, your feedback on them is always appreciated. As long as it's not shit like, I don't know, the rule change is gay.
Well, it's pretty fucking gay if you ask me.
No, no one cares.
Cool.
Transparency improving. I don't actually have anything to say for this one. If someone else can take that.
I mean,
If someone
are
else can
kind of
take that.
improving. Wait a minute. We are kind of improving it a bit. Like, we kind of learned our lesson, in a way. I mean, we'll work more on it. That's all the answer I can give.
Next question. Doc, is donating a large sum of money a partial solution to the development time, or would it go to waste? For example, shortbread to Bryn. Fun fact, Bryn doesn't really like shortbread anymore.
So, it depends. We've had difficulties with external contributors, external developers in the past. We have hired some, and as you can tell by the fact that it's not been released, we've had some issues with whilst working with them with differences in code, and yeah, it's not the best. Would it be useful? Yes, it always is, because even if it doesn't, it will either go towards development or server costs, essentially. So there's not much more that I can say than that.
Okay. Will TeamSpeak be saved due to the US server dying?
Most likely not. What we're considering is leaving the server up with no license. Because even with the community meeting going on today, we would still, it's too small. We could have this with the community license, which is 32 slots and free. So that's the possibility is just cutting the license as opposed to actually the entire server. It was, I think, something that was being looked into. But no, with the server, no, probably not.
I wish Forsty was here, because this one's a good question for him
I
as
wish
well.
Falsey was here. Do you want me to? I can see he might be near the. He might be back.
You can poke him.
I'll try.
Alright, Marcus, I'm going to save that question to see if Bryn... No, not Bryn, sorry, Forsty arrives. I don't think I've got any more questions, so you can...
Wonderful, even better. Bumbo, shut up. Yes, map change has already been addressed, so we don't need to. Yeah. Development, frames per second. We've already been over that. Essentially, it's difficult because it's a complicated subject. I'm not a subject matter expert on optimization, but I do what I can. Even, again, not many of us come from true software development coding backgrounds. I do. Falsty does to an extent. I think Burnett does, but I don't know off the top of my head. Actually, I need to check.
He does, yeah.
He does. Okay, so it's tearing out a lot of old code written by people who have not been good coders. Essentially, I don't like calling people's code shit unless it's my own, in which case I'll call it shit all day long.
Spaghetti code.
Shut up.
And mine.
Yeah, and yours still. That's a good point.
But again, we're trying with lots of profiling on actually what code is running slowly, trying to preemptively optimize our new code so we don't actually have to do it again. But removing features where the cost outweighs the benefit. I think one of the examples of this was for the door text. It used to be outlined, which would draw something like 8 sets of text compared to 1 if it wasn't outlined. So that got removed.
Okay.
Continuation on Maceco, we've already spoken about. Map change, we've spoken about. New prop packs. So yeah, changing up some of the content we've got now. I think it's some of the GTA props or something like that are being replaced with new sets. Hopefully, smaller model sizes, smaller material sizes. Whilst
also adding more variety.
Well, yes, thank you. Whilst also having more variety than just Office. Map change, we're looking into it, trying to get it done relatively quickly compared to how it can be quite slow in the past.
Easier because we now have like loads of maps set up, I think.
Yes.
Because of the trial process.
And the maps, quite a few of them are still set up before, though we would need to go over them anyway. Things like V2D would need to go over because it doesn't have everything.
Is there an estimate as to when the map change would occur, if it occurs?
Give me a second.
More than a second, Doc.
Shut up.
This is many seconds.
This is like
Eat my big fat donger.
Yeah.
Well,
he's stuffing his
The vote
face.
for it, where to see the concept and have all the feedback put in place, that's all passed. So I think it's waiting for feedback to come back, essentially, is what we're waiting for.
Ooh.
And yes, Marcus, that could... I'm not sure if there might be overlaps in the model parts, so in that case it would be fine, but I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Are there any plans to add tools to improve law enforcement roleplay, mainly to prevent cops and robbers?
There's plans to put in tools for everything.
I think we've got a nice little note on the doc that I am highlighting now that you might want to...
Oh, I'm tapped out.
Can I also
you
answer Marcus's question quickly?
Oh, I have got no idea about that nightmare, so you can talk about that if you
I
like.
don't know anything about that. I was
I don't
expecting
know
you
anything
would.
about that. Okay, you expected me to read this? I'm doing this
Yes.
off the cuff, mate. God, expected me to be prepared? No, shut up, don't call me a fucking idiot.
Alright, anyway.
Fast content to add. So yeah, as we've said before, we're looking at pushing through. Getting scripts that would require minimal changes to actually work with the game mode as opposed to things like Maceca, which has a huge amount of integration. How the content packs being loaded in-game, so it makes loading times quicker, hopefully. I don't know much more than that because Tamar is at work, so he couldn't really answer my questions.
Doc, do we actually know if Forcy is joining us?
He hasn't said anything, I don't think he will be.
He's not said anything to me either. Should I just ask him? Alright, so... Would you as a team consider adding an advisor rank for players that have been playing on the server for a long time? For example, since 2011, but even though we haven't been open since 2011, and who would like to be present for dev meetings. This could come with an NDA.
It's an interesting idea. We nearly had something similar with certain people who were demoted but wouldn't demoted from development but ended... Yeah, it's a difficult situation. We've thought about it before. It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility because we always welcome him. Or it might be a case of dragging people in for meetings like we had about the racism rule change and just dragging people in directly.
That's where we decide if
Yeah.
people are constructive or not, then we invite them to the meeting to...
Yeah,
And
a bit
if
like
you're being like Puffer right now, you're not involved, basically.
Exactly.
I'm being yelled at to
And,
repeat.
but actually, quickly, the question, The question that we are being asked: does constructive mean agrees with everything we say? No, because I think we had was it Octagon we had at the thing, even though we completely disagreed with it, something like that.
Basically, being calm, collected, and constructive, as in giving good feedback.
And not just calling things cancerous bullshit. Nightmare.
Alright, I'm being yelled at to repeat a question, and that's
for
bringing
it.
up the ban wipe again. So what's the possibility of that happening?
It's possible, but it's not probable.
There you go then. I don't have any more questions for now, so you're welcome to continue.
Having a focus on passive RP. Yes, passive RP, from a development standpoint, has been very underdeveloped. We know that. There's been a lot more put into the fun elements, the shooting, the guns, the pretty cars and the fast whores. All that sort of thing is, even if people don't want to admit it, is more fun for most players. Yes, and the pretty cars, Blackdoll, the pretty cars and the fast whores.
Fast horse?
Why is everyone getting so... Why are you all getting hung up on fast whores? Good lord. Yeah, so it's more fun for most players. Some people enjoy passive RP and will go at it for hours and hours. Most people will prefer having a good gunfight every so often.
I mean, I suck at gunfights, but
yeah,
I'd like
so
it.
we've put a lot of effort, we've put a lot of development time and effort into that, and passive RP has gone underdeveloped. Again, we don't always make the best decisions when we're... Hey, it's Tamar!
Hey.
We don't always make the best decisions when it comes to what content we add versus what content we don't add.
Okay. What is your opinion about custom LimeLight in-game radio stations that players can host?
I would. So we spoke to Barkles about this because Barkles is our big fat radio man. He's not even.
Barkles leave.
He left. So essentially, the way the radios work now is that there's a radio player on any object that has a radio in it. It finds the closest radio, how far away it is, and then it just has a single radio player that we basically stick on the player and play at a set volume, depending on how close it is. So if you had multiple stations, that wouldn't work. So that would have to be rewritten. I've just finished the chicken call. I finished my nug-nugs. But yeah, it would have to be rewritten, but if that's the thing that people want, I think that's already actually approved.
I have another question.
Might be an approved suggestion already. I think it is. Question?
How hard is it to learn Lua and coding for Yarizmon? And is it worth learning it now, 15 years after the release of the original game? I've got something to add to this.
There are some days where I get on and I want to stab myself in the penis and then the eyeballs and then cut my hands off so I don't have to do anything ever again. Does that answer your question?
To add to it, I don't know if this is still a thing. Back when I was, I think, at stage 1, there was an initiative by Bold or whatever, so
Yeah.
people would come on board and you would train them. Is that still a thing?
So it's not. To answer the question seriously, because the last one was a little bit of a meme. Let's go. Is it worth learning? Yes. Is it worth learning Lua as your first coding language? Probably not. Something like JavaScript is a lot easier to get into, and you learn the nuances of coding before you jump into a fairly It's an easy language, but it teaches you bad habits, essentially.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can continue with the doc. I've got no more questions for you
Go
right
for
now.
it. It's the same thing, Liv. Nobody cares, and PHP is the best language. Anyone disagrees with me?
Why does this feel like it's your TED talk for coding?
Did you know that Hide the Pain Harold did a TED talk? I know, it's amazing. Next question.
There is no questions. That's what I'm saying. You're welcome to go on the doc.
Wonderful. Focus on passive. We've done that on US server. We've done optimization. We've done dev blogs. Yeah, I want more dev blogs. I'm not going to lie. They're fun. They're fun to write. It means I don't have to do work, and I still get paid for them. It's wonderful.
Wait, you get paid for dev blogs?
No, I don't. I fucking wish I did.
Anything else
Yeah.
you need to cover?
Dev blogs are great. We need more of them. It's a shame we don't do more of them. there's much more I can say about that, to be fair. Degree of whitelisting for police. So, yeah, there have been suggestions to whitelist the police. It comes down to, again, it's another one of those balances. We can either whitelist them completely, but that puts a lot of work on staff. It puts a lot of work on the people who are whitelisted, especially at the start. It puts a lot of work on people actually putting in a system for that and making sure, what happens if somebody's messing around or messes up? Do they get properly fired? Do they get demoted? Do they lose their whitelist? Can they reapply for it? Blah 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 blah. There's a lot of questions there, and a lot of work that would have to go into it to make it work well. Compare that to somewhere in the middle, where you have to spend a certain amount of time as a ride along. What happens if they literally go ride along and sit in the thing and do nothing? Again, same thing. If they do misconduct, what happens? Does that get reset? Does it not? What happens there? If they get banned, would it reset then? If they get a police blacklist, would it reset then? There's lots of questions there that need to be asked. Currently, there's no whitelist, and lots of those. It's the easiest thing to do.
Thanks, Bumper.
And so those questions don't need to be asked. So it's sort of a balancing act again of trying to balance the two sides.
Can we just ban Theo right now?
Yeah, next question.
Next question. Do you think that LimeLight will be salvageable?
I hope so.
If you work with us and not against us, yeah.
I hope so, because
There are times where we get feedback and it's not particularly easy to understand what's being said. So I guess constructive feedback would help, because I know it's a big urge just to go, oh yeah, this is shit. I fucking despise every last bit of it. It's so easy to do that, but try and
I
help
hear
us.
there's certain staff members that let me find the quote 2 seconds that are
Oh boy.
oh boy, yeah, because there are certain people that will go that the staff are on a power trip and they have been since they've been promoted.
You're still butthurt about
I'm
that,
still
aren't you?
butthurt. I'm saltier than the Dead Sea about that right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to do that than to have a nuanced discussion and say, here are the situations where I think that you've done something over the line, or even speak to HR about it, or that people go, oh, this is the worst update that's ever happened to LimeLight. You're the killer of aggressive RP because I nerfed the Scar 20.
Or
And also,
participated
some
in
of the people
trading
who said it was
cards.
pay to
That
win
was
also
weird.
came out a couple of days later and said
We
they were
would.
just trolling about it, not going to
Should we
name
move
any
on to the
names.
next question?
Yep.
Is there any consideration to implement guidelines to replace roleplay restricted rules?
That would
I ask this
be
towards you as
brilliant.
well, Doc, because there's initiatives from development, I think.
Oh, right. So essentially for development, what we're looking at doing is trying to replace certain rules where they can be with in-game systems. So I think an example was the part of FearRP that deals with handcuffing, we can change by just making it so when you're being cuffed, you can't put a gun out, for example. I don't know what else Bryn has to say about it, but
Bryn, if you want to
there
message
is-
me, I'll be your voice.
There is a thread in the community input category
I
about
didn't see this one because I don't read the forums.
You don't know the question, Julie. Let me just read that for you then.
When are we changing all the rules to guidelines?
Then whilst we wait on Bryn's wonderful... Oh wait, no, he's typing now. His one-word response is maybe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Again, it's a lot of trying to balance player experiences, the amount of time and work that has to go into every call, not just for staff, but for the people who have to be in the calls. It's not fun being sat on a booth being yelled at for half an hour.
No, it's really not.
And stuff like that. And then getting the entirety agree on it to actually get the change implemented. Ooh, onions.
Lady has hinted at changes to the inventory system. How possible and how probable could this be?
Changes to the inventory system, good lord. No. It's possible, but currently the way the system is set up, it supports no there's no way it would support saving data on items and would basically require being ripped out and completely started again. Next question.
Next question. Will there be a nerfed criminal RP in the future to encourage players to do more passive roleplay? How well do you think this will work if so?
There's already criminal RP is already nerfed. Like things like mugging. A mugging will get you $500. That is absolutely nothing in LimeLight money.
Okay. Next question then.
Is there a new F1 menu? I believe there's one being worked on. I think it's in the roadmap. I'm not sure if it's being actively worked on right now, though.
Cool.
I have a lot of stuff to do, okay?
Yeah, there's a lot
This person has asked to remain anonymous, so I won't be revealing their name.
Yeah, a
However,
bit like every other question's been
like
anonymous
every other
as well.
question, yep, because I've not been saying names. Is there a reason why Doc is presenting or speaking on behalf of LimeLight as opposed to an essay or Tamar? Well, Bryn, as you've noticed, has lost his mic, so I am his voice. And
That's why Tamar has got his not. Please,
thanks, Tamar.
Please.
You can mute now.
Please.
I said now.
That's
why
Jamal
Jamal's
talking, you
not talking.
guys. It's like a robot.
Essentially, I'm also the deputy lead of development, so I come directly under Forresty. I help a lot with the business team, and I'm also an administrator that basically puts me in the best position to know what I'm talking about.
Cool.
I don't run LimeLight. God no.
I'm guessing it's been answered already, but is the
Bryn,
current...
you can suck my big fat knob. That's the only thing you're running.
Okay then. I'm guessing it's already been answered, but is the current SA situation that's been brought up going to be addressed properly regarding an activity, for example? Bryn?
Yeah, they're making me an essay.
Doubt, resign.
That's
Same
another
goes
reason.
for you.
That's
as
another
well.
reason to make it. That's another reason to make it happen, though. Nightmare.
Yeah, that's very true, very true. Bryn, do you want to address that?
Elevator Q?
And elevator music, please. No?
Also, I don't think people believe that you're reading Bryn's answers because you don't sound cunty enough.
It's like Stephen Hawking. You just turned him down, and you're making up all the answers for him.
I want to talk with the others so we can get either me, you read it. I don't understand, Bryn.
He wants to shift people about.
Yeah. Okay, so next question.
Go for it.
Is the SA team actually going to speak about this themselves? It seems at the moment that they just don't care about anything that's happening, as they've made no public appearance to the community to address the issues.
Bryn and Tamara here.
There you go, public appearance.
This is as much as you're gonna get.
I think Forsty was saying that he was visiting someone.
Yeah, he's not home at least for another 2 hours. So.
And Overload is raiding.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Because World of Warcraft raids are more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, he did say to us that he wouldn't be able to make it.
Yeah, but we wanted to get this done as soon as possible, so if people couldn't make it, they're just gonna, yeah.
We've got our own opinions about it, don't worry.
Yeah, with normal meetings, we schedule them around when people are around. Here, we did it for basically as soon as possible when we could get someone from Dev and someone from HR to be here.
Yeah, this was planned on the Friday at about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Literally, it was really fast moving. Like, we felt that it had to be pushed through as soon as possible.
If you get made HR, I'm demoting myself.
Okay, next question, shall we? Are there any concerns on funding the server currently or going forward?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
We would wait for 4C then.
Fuck it, I'm just
But
gonna say.
if that doesn't get answered... Oh, okay. Go on. Sorry.
You're getting prime leaks, guys.
Yeah, okay,
Prime
thanks,
leaks.
Bryn. So essentially, what we're looking at the moment, we have been making a loss over the past couple of months. There is money in the bank. and a fair amount. We're not struggling for funding for things like upkeep of services. We'd be struggling for funding if we started doing major outsourcing, essentially. So,
And Enzyme can come because he has work in the morning.
in the words of C. Arctor, 3.6 Rotogen, not too good, not too bad.
This was probably best geared towards Daily, but he's not here. Is there any plans to encourage more clan RP? Also, tell Bambo that he's a normie.
Shut up, you fucking
We
normie.
what?
But I guess you'd need to speak to Daily in regards to that. He's not here, sadly.
Yeah,
on Steam?
I don't know if there's any plans for clans.
I think his PC is
Nothing.
broken, so he's got.
Oh, how
A
long's
fair
it been broken
excuse.
for? 2 years? What?
Yeah.
Ooh, you said that.
Next question. Cooking for Mexa is not specifically stated on the dev roadmap. Is it planned? If so, what is its priority over other modules?
Yes, because I'm doing some work currently with item files and making item files pretty, and I was like, I want to do this and make recipes using this sort of format. So yes, it's planned, it's a thing. What's its priority? Considering the impact on passive RP it could have, and even to a point an impact on aggressive RP, where, you know, going home, cooking a good hearty meal before you go out and shoot someone could give you an advantage. That would be, you know, we'd be looking quite highly on that after...
Let's watch out, boys. Doc's had his breakfast.
Yeah, I had my Fruit Loops, brother. So yeah, probably looking quite highly, but after what we've done currently.
Okay. Next question. I'm going to need to put a link into the community thing. When will LimeLight add that badass elevator system that made elevators that acted as teleports fake elevators? Yeah, I linked it, Black Dog.
Wow, I've not seen this one.
Sorry, Mr. Suggestion Master person.
I haven't even posted on this. Wow. How
Wow.
did that sneak under the radar? Wait, hang on, there's a second page. Oh, I did post on it, never mind.
Also, I'm lacking in questions right now, so if you feel like asking anything, then duck in my way.
I don't know when it's going to be put in.
There you go.
Simple answer. I'm sorry that I don't have all the answers, unfortunately.
Oh crap, Zayon, do you mind resending that question because I accidentally hit the X instead of...
Oh my god, nightmare. Absolute nonsense. Economy. So, yeah. The economy has been an issue where it's not been very well balanced into how different types of things make money. Unfortunately. It used to be contraband was worth absolutely bugger all, and then it got buffed super high, and then it got nerfed again. Weed got buffed, and then hasn't really been rebalanced since then. So it's quite high, but also quite low risk with the changes to lights. So it's a lot of trying to make a balancing act, also without trying to piss too many people off by making their stuff worthless.
Where was this question asked?
Hmm?
Where was it asked?
In the bit where it says economy on the docs.
Oh, I knew that. I didn't know we were back to the doc.
No, the thing is, Puffy, after you got banned, they removed the lights because it was glowing through walls and took the sound down because it was too loud, right?
I swear he was here for that.
Oh, was he? I can't remember.
He keeps getting banned. You don't know when it was.
Yeah.
I think my suggestion about revamping meth was approved though, so...
Yeah, there's a lot of, again,
Blog.
we have so many great things and great ideas from great people, but we just don't have the resources in development to get them done, and that makes me so disappointed and so sad, because they are such great ideas and I want to see them. I really want to see them in, rather than just rotting away in the approved section.
And
I
why
don't think
you
anyone
get to
wants to
work?
see them rot, to be fair.
That just makes me so goddamn mad.
I don't think anyone really wants to see anything
No.
in that area rot.
Exactly.
New question. When's Dr. Internet gonna add CS:GO props that were approved over a year ago?
Please see my answer to the last question.
That's already been answered.
What
Yeah.
was it though?
It was the one where I got really angry and punched my chair.
I didn't know you'd punch your chair.
I'll punch you,
Um,
babe.
I mean, he keeps burping. Maybe he punched it during that.
Yeah,
Cole, no.
That's because I had onion rings.
Anyway, there are more props in the works, so yeah.
There are. Hang on, just let me get this out of its bag.
You can go back to the dock now.
Are you going
I
to
can go
put
back to-
yourself in the garbage bag?
Ooh, burger. How nice.
Fucking, he's still eating.
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
Go back to the dock then.
I am going back to the dock, but I'm also eating. There's nothing left on there.
Yeah, everything is answered.
Okay, let's go with important projects and stuff that you'd like to.
Just under 100 kilos. I don't know what that is in.
There you go, that's an important project, guys. He's just under 100 kilos.
Oh, hey, it's what's his face. How are you doing? I'm pretty sure that's.
If anyone has any questions, I'm lacking right now, so if you want to send them over, then I will ask. Appropriate questions, might I add.
Elevator song?
Can I mention something?
What's that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so about the Gmod update and how it's fucked over our context menu. Is that being worked on?
I'm trying to work. I spent about half an hour trying to work out what was actually causing it. And apparently, it's an issue with world panels. And it's just a little bit fucked. The
Questions?
Cody Wody did a fucky wucky and did a boo boo.
Alright, Doc. Are work in progress content updates going to be secret or kept. Are work in progress content updates going to be kept secret or teased?
I think,
It's a bit of both.
I mean, most of the things we're working on right now is added to the roadmap.
Yeah. I can't think if there's actually anything on there that isn't. I don't think there is.
Maybe the fast download thing?
No, that's on there. Oh, actually, no, that's not on there.
That's not on there, no. Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, that's we've already talked about it.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that bit when you weren't paying attention?
Yeah.
But that's always.
That is always.
My favourite meme currently is you, Marcus.
Questions come to me, thank you very much. Can we have the in-game feedback panel added to the forums as well as in-game? Emma?
Ask Shamaya.
I'm kind of looking at you there.
I think it may be possible. I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't unmute.
No, please don't unmute.
Otherwise we'll probably get,
Dead.
Yeah.
We'll lose all the people in the meeting.
No, we are not adding a rape swept to the server.
Oh god, who asked that?
We've already answered that, Vivs.
Yeah.
And we lost Bryn.
Yeah, Bryn is excused.
I will see if I can find if anyone else is online. Probably not, though.
I mean, Overlu's rating, you know.
He might be done. You know, he's doing
That
well.
doubt.
No, please do not unmute Tamar, good lord. No, that's... Oh god, he unmuted.
It's. I mean,
Tamar,
at
do
least
you
it
need
didn't
me to
start
repeat
now.
the question for you, mate? It's odd, he's unmuted, but he's not raping our ears.
Yet.
Yeah. Well, how about you whisper into the mic for us?
Do some ASMR.
Give us a LimeLight ASMR session.
ASMR!
Oh god.
He-
Wait, you just meant someone leaving.
He joined his cage.
That was
an abs.
Ow! Oh, can you mute again, please?
Mars driving, so Okay, he's muted. Tamar's driving, so he's using an Android app to connect, so that might be why he actually can't
Alright, cool.
talk.
So Tamal's here in spirit, but I don't think he'll be able to answer the question, sadly. Doc, are there plans? Actually, I need to message you about this one.
Okay.
Elevator music. During Nightmare
Yes,
messaging
there
Doc.
are. Maybe because
Yeah.
Right, I haven't even answered the...
Because you keep harassing me about them, Nightmare.
Good. Alright, so are there plans to add any new emotes and animations? I've worked on a bunch of them
And they're all
with...
shit.
thanks, Doc. I've worked on a bunch of them with Welker. It's with development.
They just need a menu or something like that, I think.
Yeah, we need a menu or whatever, and it needs beta testing. I think the beta testing of them is pretty much done though.
Ah! Much smarter if I like the burger.
I'm just gonna ask for everyone that's interested, is there a dab gesture?
Is there a dab gesture?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the files in like ages. I can quickly take a look and see what
Please
I've got.
don't.
Wait 1 second. If there's not, then I can work on that like right away.
No, I don't think anyone wants that.
I want that.
There are lots of things you want, Nightmare.
Yeah, that's very true.
HR was one of them.
Aha, you're hilarious. No, there's not a dab, but I can do that.
Is there a squatting emote?
So you want to like teabag haters?
Let's remember to be respectful, please, guys.
Yeah, rock sass.
Wasn't there an update where if you typed the smiley face in chat, it would show up above your head? I thought this was added a year ago.
Yes, that was added, and then it had some very major exploit issues. Haven't been repaired. I believe it was an exploit. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. So it ended up being disabled and then removed when stuff got reshuffled. No, Liv, nobody said exploits. Please never say anything again.
With his exploits and then just...
Cole? No.
Will driving and LimeLight get better? Some cars just spin out without warning sometimes, and no, it's just not my amazing driving.
I feel like all the cars would be better if they had turbo in reverse.
Oh, you mean like the tow
yeah.
truck ages ago? Okay.
Yeah, there are. We don't want driving to feel bad because driving is quite a big part in LimeLight.
I don't have any questions.
You have a question?
Oh wait, hold up, I do, wait.
Arnie, just because I actually care that my code looks good, unlike some people I could mention in this channel.
Okay, will the McLaren be fixed or reverted until fixed?
The McLaren's broken?
Yeah, that's my
Is it?
reaction. I don't know if it's broken
I
or
didn't know
not.
it was broken.
Yeah, thanks, Sowers. We were kind of hoping for an explanation how it's broken, not a yes or a no.
That's because you're never online, internet.
Apparently, you literally can't drive it. But I'm probably
okay.
just gonna say that
Well,
this is a bug
we'll
report.
give Rock one and then it'll be fixed, hopefully. Oh, Overdude's just messaged me back.
Oh, nice.
Saying that he's dead.
Oh, nice. You drive 1 second and you turn into a wall. Doc, are there any plans for new cars?
Right, so essentially the big problem we have with new cars is that cars are some of the most detailed models you will get in Gary's mod, to the point where they've had to be split into multiple models because it literally crashes the engine because they are so detailed. That puts a lot of taxation on the server because they need to load all the models into what's known as the model cache whenever it loads. That is every model that is on the server, whether it's spawned or not, used or not.
Yeah.
So essentially, if we want to put more stuff in, and the model cache utilization was like 98% when we checked it last, so we'd need to be taking some stuff out. And yeah, there's a lot of models on there that we don't need. I completely a lot of the old cars were still on there that got taken off. So we need to be taking stuff off to put new stuff in to a point.
Has the game mode been tested on SRC DS64 with the 64-bit branch?
Not a clue, not security. I'd have to ask Burnett. I'll see if he's online and drop him a message.
He is online, actually.
I
Oh,
know,
no,
that's
he's
why.
not.
No, he's not. He's not online. So, no.
That's
Not a
fine,
clue. Probably not.
I only
Well-
ask because it could have performance improvement. I don't know if I cut out there, but I said...
Because it has performance improvements.
yeah.
No idea. I don't think we are. Yeah,
Cool.
I think we're just running standard branch, master branch.
Unless anyone can give me more questions, I think that's the end of it.
Cool. Is that a name that I'm going to have to Google when we're done here?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, why do you have to do it when we're done here? You can just do it now.
Yeah, do it now.
Because I'm still eating a burger.
That's better.
Yeah. I thought that was Puffy.
By the way, you were talking about accessories
Ooh.
and you wanted to talk about
Ooh.
someone, and they were
He's
here.
alright.
I think
I'm
the
just
person
saving
is
that
now
for
here.
later.
Alright, Doc, is there... sorry, are you done looking at Lana Rhodes?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Is there any interest to have more realistic damage, making
Well,
rushing
no, Theo,
and...
the thing is, I'm on steroids at the moment, which cause so basically my metabolism has gone through the absolute roof.
No one cares, but anyway,
No, Theo asked. Theo asked. What was the question?
is there any interest to have more realistic damage, making rushing and aggressive RP more risky?
I believe that rushing is the best tactic, especially when you are a twat who has no head hitbox, Cole. But in all seriousness, it's a thing that we looked into, and I would need to check what the results of the poll were, but the community were, I think, quite heavily. It was either for or against realism. I cannot remember for the life of me. It would be down to whatever that poll was.
I mean, we also rolled out too many updates for aggressive RP, so
Yes, so it would be trying to put a lot more focus into the passive RP before we start doing major updates to aggressive RP. Who uses
Also-
pounds?
Doc, you wanted to talk about accessories, but someone wasn't here. I think that person is here now.
Yeah, does Viv, do you want to talk about accessories or something? Do you want to do that, or is that...
I'll grant talk power.
Do they? I've already done it, get stuff.
Am I talking about it? Okay.
Well,
No,
you're
I-
being
I-
given permission
No, I
to talk
just
about
told
it.
you. I literally just told you to talk about it.
Okay. There's a new bit of content in the works. It's not a major update, but it's just been added to the roadmap. Me and Bambo are working on bringing accessories now as kind of like clothing items, which will include masks, headwear, rucksacks, that kind of thing, to try and improve passive roleplay a little bit, as well as give a bit more of a money sink for players. Initially, it will be available to everyone, not just donators. But I think the plan is, depending on how it goes, it'll progress into being a donator-only item. If anyone has any ideas for accessories to be added during this time, then please let us know. Otherwise, we're going with a GTA 5 accessories pack for now that contains plenty of hats, masks, and bags and stuff. So it's not limited to anything in particular. It could be anything, including, for example, wearable Kevlars, that kind of thing. It has the ability to expand upon just minor accessories to being stuff like that. But it could mean you could have a pan on your back, PUBG style.
We're not
Flex.
going to add a fursuit.
Yeah, that's not an accessory. That's just a suit, Although we could add it. You could turn it into a furry server. I'm sure it'd probably get more players.
Very
Oof.
happy.
Or just
Obviously, we're not going
My
to
Little
add a
Pony.
pigeon hat, but if
My
we
Little
do,
Pony pack 3 models.
It'll be
Yeah.
great. The only problem with that Puffy is that you're banned, so you couldn't use
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I think I
Um,
found a really nice furry add-on, like player
No,
models.
Christ,
no, no.
Alright,
next question.
let's move on now. Will we ever change dollars to pounds because it is more superior?
No.
The server's based on US, so
Yeah, I
it
was
would
about to say,
fuck up
because-
everything.
Yeah.
If we changed to pounds, we'd have to make everything about 10 times as expensive as it was a few months ago. Ayo, Brexit joke.
Also, we'll have to change map too because driving. etc.
That's a good point. We'd have to drive on the correct side of the road.
Correct? Excuse me?
And no have guns.
Well, no. You just have your illegal unregistered butter knife.
True.
So we'll essentially kill aggressive RP.
Do you guys know that I actually got told that I was the killer of aggressive RP when I nerfed the Scar 20?
Yeah, because I hate you for that still.
You never used the Scar 20, Bambo, because you
I
can't
always
aim.
use the Scar 20, even after
You
it
can't
got
wait,
nerfed.
Liv, just use the HK.
Don't use anything, Bambo. You don't come on enough.
Oof.
Ooh!
Are there any more questions for people?
Yeah, I'm waiting on more questions.
Okay, let's see. I got an auto hotkey script that I use to make my AR-15 fire in full auto, just saying.
Excuse me, what?
What? No, because I wrote it and it's on the server and it runs on the server, so it's actually, that's not hacking, that's just complete abuse of development power. There's a slight difference, get it right?
Wait, what?
What?
Power trip? Excuse me? Abuse?
What?
I will say I'm only answering questions that are directed towards LimeLight, not.
Oh, in that case, feel free to ask me any
personal.
questions and I am more than
Oh,
happy
okay.
to answer.
Doc, why do you moan about your food?
Because he
when
is having
there is
an
food,
orgasm?
because it just has to get inside me.
Okay,
God.
back to a LimeLight question. Is there any way for police to stop being so anal with arrests? People arrested for the most petty things.
Revenge through cop page. I don't give a shit. Just pay me money and I'll let you go.
I think that comes back down to the whitelisting point from earlier.
We could make a thing so you have to like actually fill in a report for 2 hours every time you arrest somebody. But again, it's that balancing act between making
Or
things.
actually, every time you shoot, you fill in a report. 'Cause
How
that's
it
how
is
it
in
goes.
reality.
Yeah.
But again, it's trying to have the balance of fun versus, fun for whichever side. Because arresting somebody because they've done a crime, that's the good part of the design of the game. And we don't want to really impede on that. We just want to make it so that other methods are, more applicable as well.
You think if people had to carry people they're arresting to prison, it would be less of a bullshit reason for them to arrest?
Yeah, let's make a community vote for my demotion.
Tamar, how able are you to answer a kind of business-related question with Doc right now?
Tamar
don't think
Tamar doesn't know what's going on with the business. What are you on about?
Well, I can be your voice if you want a voice.
The other.
Because I have a business-related question, but okay, I'm just going to say it. You can answer it if you want.
The answer to your question is we've already answered that question. It's a possibility, but probably not.
Yeah, I know you're driving, but I was saying how occupied with you with driving
No,
to answer.
no.
Do you know
Okay.
what driving is?
Yes, I know. Shut up.
Can you do it, Nightmare? Can you drive?
No, I can't. Will there be an opportunity to become a shareholder in LimeLight?
Most likely not.
There you go.
Because if there are more shareholders, it's going to be more of a business and not fun.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Okay. Can we get rid of the common law bullshit for icy arrests, add basic laws to perma laws, not to whatever a player thinks is against the law?
So, the problem with that is lots of laws vary from country to country. So, and even from state to state.
Is that it?
Shut up.
Cole is saying we're in a US-based server. Just pick a
I have
state.
no idea where I was going with what I was saying there, so let's try again. I agree in part, but also trying to retain the flexibility. Because if we just said that jaywalking is legal, and there was a person who wanted to make it illegal, that then puts that thing on there.
Okay. The approved suggestion. Sorry,
yes, but Cole, the difference is there's things like common law. Murder isn't in the perma laws, for example.
Okay.
So, yeah, as you were saying. Shut up, Cole.
The approved suggestions section seems a bit crowded. Are there plans to clean it up? I think we've already covered this.
We go through it every so often, try and find suggestions which aren't relevant or updated, or where there's new versions of them. Get rid of them, clean out any that have been missed, and just try and get that all done every so often. But it takes a lot of time because, as you quite rightly say, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Okay, next question. Can we get random fires at starting random houses when firefighters are on?
That could also ruin some things, but it's...
I'm not sure I'd agree with houses, but that might need to be put through a
Yeah.
staff vote.
I think that's already approved. Pretty sure.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
It might be nice for us to have the ability to make fireproof zones if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because I didn't start the fire, I just shot the deputy.
Next question. Oh, sorry. Bit tired. Is there any plans to add additional high-risk, high-reward ways to earn money?
It's a possibility. No, there's no current plans to... There's not any current major plans for shifting of the economy. It's trying to rebalance what we've got now and counter the issues we've got with it.
To be honest,
Adding high risk, high outcome would be adding yet another variable to that when we're trying to get it balanced currently.
the accessory system could also serve as a sink in a way. That makes sense.
Yeah, in case you want to wash your hands.
Haha.
It's hilarious. I fucking hate myself.
Alright.
You fucking die.
Further questions.
It might also mean the changing of the hostage amount and mugging amount. To
Yeah,
increase
there's
that, maybe.
lots of things with money we need to look into. Pufty's question, would I ever unban Pufty? Personally, I feel like you have done a lot and had a lot of chances already. I think that's fair to say.
Me too. Okay. So, is the US server going to be shut down?
Already gone over that.
Will the stock market be brought back?
Possibly, but not this time.
And then an extension to that question, sorry, if the stock market does come back, will it have proper clan event integration this time?
It had proper clan integration last time.
I think what it's meant is that it was kind of manual.
Oh, right. Possibly, but possibly not. I think the big idea with the stock exchange was to keep it manually done, so you wouldn't just want every clan on there.
And Dot's dying.
Again.
Rip our development efforts.
Yeah. I think that's an answer.
Alright. Next question is, will we be seeing any more membership perks that could help improve the influx of donations?
We're always looking at new options for membership, but we also don't want to make things unfair for players who don't have it.
I mean, accessories might be a step. Like Liv said, it's a shame. Like, in the beginning, it's going to be free, and then it might transition into donator special.
So having the base be free for everyone, along with some items, and then having some special ones.
Okay, I think that's... To add to the current question, are there any plans to remove money packs from the marketplace and instead replace them with extra perk levels for membership?
I don't believe so. It's not something that's come past me at any rate.
Okay. I have not got any more questions and I've asked for them, so...
Pictures of your feet.
You actually do have a question? I asked you a question like ages ago.
Sorry, are kebabs going to be added?
Yeah, okay, so Bambo has told every developer that's come on board to make him a kebab model, and it's not been done yet. At some point, it will be done. No, Cole, you cannot get admin. You have to be active for that.
Oh, no. As there seems to be less reps being rewarded nowadays, is there any chance that rep rewards be reviewed and perks require less reps? I will say that I look
they
at
were
rep
with-
rewards. No, not rep rewards. Sorry, rep recommendations. And people are more than welcome to post there still. It's not that it's going ignored or anything.
They've only just been rebalanced.
There's a rep recommendation thing that has been inactive for ages.
Nightmare. Look at it.
What's that?
The incompetent person.
So essentially, for reps, it's trying to. I hate the fact that I'm using this phrase so much, and I'm so sorry. It's keeping the balance between having them available and having them worth a lot and having them widely available. We can play around with how much they're worth by what they get you, and also by how much we give them out. Availability we can only really do on how much we give them out. But as far as I know, they seem to be in a fairly good place at the moment. It's just there wasn't a lot of RP going on recently for self-evident reasons. You know what? I would love a Rainbow Six Siege tournament, but the thing is, the last time that happened, we literally had somebody say, "If I ever do that again, I'm divorcing you." So,
Nice.
I feel like that wouldn't go down too well.
I mean, Cole is a really bad person to get in a competition with because he team kills.
And he
Excuse
just
me?
wants to improve his ego. I mean, what?
Sowers is bad to get in a competition with because he jumps on your grenades.
No, but I think that's it for questions and what we have to say.
Thank
We've
you for
already run
listening to
over.
our TED Talk and podcast.
Yeah, thank you for listening to our TED Talk. No, but in all honesty, thank you for showing up,
Actually
guys.
turning up.
Means a lot. I don't think it would be smart to allow people just to talk freely because, oh great, so we do it anyway. Good job. Yeah.
Pigeon hat when, fursuit when.
Hello.
Yeah,
So if
you
anyone
mentioned
actually,
it just as I fucking. All right,
I
fine.
feel like-
Can we push the talk? Can we put?
No, if I do this is no longer a problem because now I've. Well, nobody cares, Uncle. If you guys have
But
any,
I need priority speaker as well
no,
because
you
you know.
do not. If anyone
Yeah, I
else has
do.
any more questions,
All right,
I'm
I
going
have
to
them.
be sticking. I'm going to be sticking around for a while because I'm still got half a burger to eat.
Oh God.
Okay
How
then, Doc.
did you order?
Is there going to be a proper staff discussion about expanding into more games?
Possibly.
Probably more aimed towards HR and Bryn
Yeah,
disappeared.
you'd
but,
probably. I mean, you're always welcome to make a thread, Nightmare.
I'll
Actually,
make a
do
thread.
your job. Do your job as a
Excuse you, I'm already making a thread. Thank you very much.
Well, then make two.
Would you ever consider ways for certain membership perks, such as what? What do you mean by that? Would you ever consider ways for certain membership perks, such as suit or SWAT access? Certain ways like what? That's such broken English.
Can you just send me the entire question?
That is the entire question.
Send it to
Okay,
me by text.
I think they're trying to say. I don't know. I don't even know what they're trying to say. Can you just speak?
Nope.
Wait, was Sowers the one that sent that?
Oh, okay. So, splitting it down in constituent parts. So, instead of buying membership, you buy your suit access. You buy your SWAT access.
Oh.
Again, it's like the oh boy. Unfortunately, like the inventory system, it's very binary. It's either on or off. So that's not something That's not something we're looking into right now. It could. It's theoretically possible, but it's not something we're looking into.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Marcus, you literally just said we need more players. That sounds like a terrible idea.
What's that? Sorry.
Make it a pay to join.
Ugh, no. What the fuck?
I've already bought Gmod.
Hey, can we give everyone teacher?
Yeah.
No. No. Pass.
I mean, to be
Thanks.
fair,
No.
I was listening to the suggestion earlier.
Nightmare, is the teacher team going to be worse if everyone joins?
Probably.
I doubt that.
Nightmare. I was listening to the suggestion earlier about the people who come to development for advisors. And I was like, I got halfway through because it was like trusted people who have been around on LimeLight for a long time. That's the teacher team.
Trusted?
But you guys are trusted, because if you weren't trusted, you wouldn't have half of the powers that you already do. Alright, Mr. Ex-teacher.
You don't trust me.
Well, I mean, that's because you guys fucking demand to be titled as staff, and that's not how it is.
I mean, to be fair, they had a point.
They really don't.
Literally everyone else is called staff.
Yeah, but there's difference between staff and part of the wider team.
Then why were teachers? Why were teachers literally?
Questions from the player base here?
Sorry?
Any more questions from the player base?
I don't think so. I've already opened up, and no one...
Can we unban Puff too?
No.
Why? Give me a valid reason as to why not.
A bad reason as to why. Try that he's already failed probation.